Hi everyone, my name is Kate and you're very welcome here on my channel where we talk about fragrances. In this video I'm going to review the Portraits collection by Penhaligons. This is a beautiful house with a description of, basically names, not description, of different characters living in it. I love Penhaligons marketing. I think it's just so beautiful, so stylish, and there's so much work in it. There's so much creativity. It's a true niche British brand. Tell me, do you like Penhaligons? Do you enjoy the fragrances or something like this? Because I do. Okay, so I ordered this on FragranceNet. They just had a huge discount and I just dropped everything and ordered it. So I can try them all and tell you about what I think. Before I begin, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy watching my videos. Pour yourself some tea, coffee, maybe wine, some Earl Grey, right? And come back to me. Let's start reviewing these wonderful fragrances. Okay, this is how it looks like. It's not a actually paid video. I just bought it myself, but I'm just excited about this kind of things, guys. So you open this house and whoa, you see this people. They're mainly animals. They have animal heads. So there's an animal associated with each fragrance, which I also find interesting and exciting. Like, ooh, why deer, you know? So I hope that you're here with me. And let's start. So first is Much Ado About Duke. I think the bottle of this perfume has a dog head. So when I smelled it for the first time, I also left the notes. So sometimes I might look at my screen just to remind myself so I don't forget everything that I wrote down. The notes that I find here for myself are gin, wood, pepper, rose, and leather. This is a very nice unisex scent. It's very easy to wear for anybody. To me, it's a little bit aquatic and salty. Maybe it's this gin or gooseberries here, and it's fresh. But this rose also gives it a little bit, just a touch of floral sweetness. I would say it's a dried rose, you know, the one that you would find in between the pages of a book. Somebody forgot it there many years ago. Yeah, and I just smell a little bit of pepper. This rose is a little peppery. It's nice. It's a very nice comfort scent that you can wear anywhere. Truly British. I understand why the dog also represents it. Okay, next fragrance is The Tragedy of Lord George. So George is represented by a deer, and it was created by Alberto Morillas. I'm excited about Alberto Morillas' works. Sometimes I really, really like it. Sometimes I'm not understanding what he tried to say. In this case, I like it. So I described it when I was smelling it of my skin. I smell tonka, hay, some herbs, burning fireplace. Very round and aristocratic. So yeah, I think some people could find this boring because it's very simple, but it's not that simple. You know, it's so well done. Anything well done cannot be really simple. Anything well done takes practice and experience. Yeah, I mostly smell hay, and I really like this feeling. I actually do like my description about the fireplace. It's something relaxing. It's like this old English room full of oak and leather furniture. Yeah, it does smell like it. And this hay, I don't know what about this hay, but it just takes me back in time. It's great. It's a beautiful fragrance. I think I would love to have a bottle of this because it's also the one that you can wear anywhere. And maybe some people could find something like this boring, but if you don't have a lot of bottles, for example, I can imagine how somebody like that would just want to have one, you know? It's great. It's a great fragrance. Also, I wanted to mention that these fragrances, they're not very long lasting. None of them lasted longer than 3 or 4 hours on my skin until it basically disappears. I think it's this character of the brand in general, because Penhaligons, they don't have a lot of strong fragrances, right? They're very projecting here. No, they're more like modest and trying to be polite and sophisticated. So don't expect any longevity and projection from these, at least in my experience. Next, let's talk about the revenge of Lady Blanche. So honestly, I think I did smell this fragrance maybe once at a store, but I didn't remember about it. But now, when I had a chance to thoughtfully smell it, explore the collection, I am so happy I found it. And I believe that this will become a full bottle because this is a perfect early spring fragrance. Look, I wrote down the notes that I smelled. Hyacinth, iris, narcissus, ginger, angelique. This is just a must-have for me for early spring. In New York, in the beginning of spring, there are narcissus flowers everywhere. Daffodils, right? I think they're called daffodils, if I'm correct. They're just everywhere. And hyacinths everywhere. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy these both things are here and I can clearly smell them. And I just cannot imagine my next spring without this fragrance. I will use a ton of it. It's perfect. It's so perfect. I'm so happy I found it. If you were looking for something like that, as I described, just try this fragrance. It's a must-have. For me, it's a must-have for early spring. I'm so happy. I just cannot tell you guys how excited I am to have found it. Next fragrance. Is there another tragedy there? The Coveted Duchess Rose. This fragrance is a miss for me. Rose is not the easiest note for me, as you know, although I just made a whole video about the rose, but to find those fragrances for that video, it was not easy. This is a bright red rose with musk and mandarin, and there's something that just doesn't work on my skin. It's in this darkness I don't like, and this heavy old lady rose, not having anything against old ladies, but it's just not good. It's not good on me. On me it becomes sour and kind of leathery, but it's a weird kind of like sour leather, It's just unpleasant. I don't like this fragrance. I'm now trying to find more roses for my collection because I started to enjoy this note, but no, not this one. So next is the Terrible Teddy. I don't know what Terrible Teddy did. I think it's rhinoceros, right? Okay. Yeah, I can smell Quentin Biche here. I don't know. I feel like I can tell Biche's fragrances without even looking. Really. Here I smell incenses, smoke, and a very thin leather. This incensey, leather, smoky, like dirty fragrances that are so like T-Rex by zoologist, This is not that. This is that kind of fragrance that was polished. They put a suit on it, on that rhinoceros animal, put some fragrance on it, gave it like glasses, a hat. Yeah, it's like they took the T-Rex and they made something absolutely people pleaser out of it, because it's a people pleaser. And it's actually rare when, at least in my experience, when you can find something like this, or you have to actually look. Maybe you want to wear something like T-Rex, but you just cannot pull it off, or it's too much, or you work in an office, and you don't feel comfortable. So if this is the case, try Terrible Teddy. It's nice. It's easy to wear. Again, it's not long lasting. If you have this empty spot on your shelf to close for the smoky leather, but you want it to be inoffensive, light, easy to wear for every day, this is that. Try this. Okay, now let's meet another character, the blazing Mr. Sam. And I can tell that this is my favorite from these 8. Yeah, there are 8 fragrances, because this is just my perfect profile. Look, the notes that I wrote down. Actually, I also didn't find perfumer's name. Sorry, sometimes I forget to mention a perfumer, but this one just didn't have one, at least on Fragrantica. Just listen. Everything I love: tobacco, cardamom, cinnamon, vanilla, cedar, pepper, saffron, patchouli. Right? That's it. So this is a spicy, slightly ambery, sweet, not too sweet. It's not, in this line, there's nothing too sweet, too heavy. Everything is very modest, everything is sophisticated, everything is polished and cleaned. So, nothing here would surprise you, I think. Only the rose for me, but it's kind of individual thing, my reaction of my skin to that fragrance. Okay, so yeah, this is spicy, vanilla, a lot of cardamom. Mostly what I smell here is cardamom and pepper. It's great. It's very easy. It's nice. It's comforting. It reminds me of Starlight by Xerjoff, my favorite Xerjoff fragrance. But that one has a stronger character. That one is also tea and amber, and it stands out more. This one is more kind of neutral on a background. It does not attract too much attention from you, because Starlight can attract more attention because the cardamom is stronger there. There's a lot of cardamom. Here, it's not as much, but it's still great. It's a lighter version of Starlight. And Starlight is one of my favorite fragrances, so why not? We have 2 fragrances left. Let's meet the lady this time. The Ingénue, cousin Flora. So we expect something Flora, maybe? I don't remember what animal was it. I didn't write it down. Kind of forgot. Okay, so, oh yes, I remember. This reminds me a lot of Chanel Cristal Eau Verte. Yes, it does remind me. I didn't compare them one by one. Maybe that was a mistake. Maybe I should have, but they have something in common. I can smell bitter orange and lemon and fresh cut grass. This feeling in the summer when you open the windows outside and there's the smell of everything green under the warm sun because everything heats up because of the sun, right? And starts smelling more, the flowers, the grass, and somebody just cut this grass maybe half an hour ago. Very nice, very light, fresh. It's beautiful. It's a great scent. I already have Eau Verte, so I kind of don't need this one. It's not a cologne. I wouldn't call it a cologne because cologne is usually more fresh thing, maybe with lavender, more herbs. This is not very herbal, although it has a ton of citruses. Yeah, just for refreshment in the summer. If you don't like wearing anything heavy during the hot days, this would be great. The last fragrance of this collection is the Changing Constance. And here, finally, a real gourmand. This is a very nice caramel. Yeah, it's a great caramel. Also one of my favorite fragrances on this set. It's peppery. It's not sickishly sweet. It's a peppery caramel, like a salty caramel maybe, with pepper and vanilla and cardamom. Seems like they like cardamom because at least 2 fragrances have a very distinct cardamom note. It's a goat. I think the animal is the goat, right? This is great. It's a very light caramel. It's not heavy. It's very easy to wear. It's not sugary, like super sweet fragrance that sometimes is annoying. No. At least to me, it's an everyday caramel. If in a colder season you're in the mood for something caramelly, something you could wear every day, it's great. It's nice. And I enjoyed wearing this one too. So yeah, what are your thoughts? Have you tried these fragrances? What do you think about the portraits collection? I think it's interesting. I enjoyed exploring it. A couple of fragrances I'm even thinking to get in a full-size bottle, especially because of the heads, this portraits. But my dream is the Mr. Thompson, the iris with lavender and vanilla. That one is great with the elephant head. Oh my God, I really want that one. It's one of my top of my wish list right now. Tell me what you like about it or you dislike about it. Share and see you in other videos. Bye bye.